What's good, guys? In this video I'm going to show you my updated chapter 3 season 3, more like chapter 3 settings. So yeah, I'm just going to show everything, of course. Performance mode gives you the best thing. I use low meshes. I sometimes play high meshes if I really I'm feeling it, but I mostly play low now because of yeah, just input delay and stuff. Controller. I use Juniper Nope. I do use Trinope sometimes, but as it's already bright season, I'm using Juniper Nope 5. I used to use colorblind mode Trinope 10, if you remember. If you look at my old settings, I used to use Trinope 10. But 180 FPS. I'm gonna be getting maybe gonna be getting a 240Hz monitor for my birthday next year. Well, this is personal preference. The only thing I could recommend turning on is turbo building. You need to turn that on, of course. Toggle sprint I have on. Auto open doors. It's personal preference. I have it on because just in case you edit a door. I'll put a clip here. Just in case you edit like a door by accident, like you can turn it on. I mean, you just auto opens doors, but the only issue is if you are trying to sneak, going for a kill, and you open a door, or you like accidentally open a door, like that will happen. Mantling, I recommend on hold jump. Hold forward will mess you up. I've seen people use it on hold forward. I don't recommend it because if you're literally going to do is walk up to a wall and it will mantle you straight away. I've seen people use it. It's not I don't recommend it. If you are going to use mantling in your playstyle, I recommend hold jump. Hold the swap pickup. There's a lot of controversy with this one, of course. Such as having it off gives you like more of an advantage in a 50-50, but then having it on is better if you're like in endgame and you're trying to insta pick up like a better weapon, or if you're like just finished a fight about to get third partied. It's really good for high stress situations. Toggle targeting, you need this off because you want to be holding L2, not tapping it. Mark danger when targeting, you could turn this off or on. It's just basically a red marker when you're aiming in. I recommend it on because you can say like you can have it say you're in endgame, you aim at someone, you could say shoot on a red marker instead of purple, pink, or whatever. Auto pick up weapons, turn this off. Like, you need this off. Because if you don't turn this off, you're gonna be picking up weapons. Preferred item slots is up to what you want. Obviously, I use SMG, shotgun, AR, sniper, then heal because I've used this for like over a year now, so I just prefer like that. I do recommend putting your SMG, shotgun, and AR in instead of your sniper because like you only get a certain amount of slots and you get so many different combinations. Like if you put heals here, it's gonna always put your heals there. You don't want your heals like that. So auto consumables to the right. That's if your heals are to the right of on your HUD. Mine is, so I have it on. Reset building choice is optional. Pretty much when you pull out your builds, your wall will instantly come out. I recommend turn this on if you're on controller, not on keyboard, because you're pressing a different key. Disable pre-edit is up to you. I have it off because I like to use pre-edits in my playstyle. Turbo building, you need that on. Confirm edit on confirm edit on release. Okay, so it's optional. If you are really down on the editing system in the game, I recommend it off because you're going to be faster with it off than with it on. But if you really do need it on, say, I don't know, like you have something wrong with your hands. Like I have something wrong with my hands, but I have to have this off. I've tried with it on. I just can't play with it because obviously of my key binds, my controller binds. Controller tips, I don't know why. Turn it off. Turn it on is up to you. All this is personal preference. The only thing I could tell you to turn off is NVIDIA highlights and this lighting. Turn that off. You don't need it. It gives you input delay. They give you input delay. Tap the search. Turn it on, so you don't have to hold to tap. You can just tap it. Report performance status. Turn that off. It gives you input delay and it will mess you up. Record replays. I recommend turning them off, but if you do need them on, then turn on the first one. Don't turn them all on, because they do give you input delay and they do actually give you ping, and they do give you an FPS, like less FPS. I would go to DX11, but you guys already know what to do for DX11. If you don't know, then go to Jerian's video. He tells you what to do. I just follow Jerian's video every season of what the best. Obviously, I do recommend, I don't touch high resolution textures. I leave it on. I do recommend to turn it off though. It does give you less input delay with having it off, but personally, I don't see a difference, and plus, many pros do use it on, so that's up to you. Don't argue with yourself to turn it on or off. Just do what you want. HUD is recommended. What you want, you can have what you want. The only thing I do say turn off is creative performance status, because you'll be in the game and you'll have a massive thing on your screen. Everything else you can turn off or on. You can have anything. You could turn net debug stat. You could turn net debug status off. Reticle ammo indicator. I've had this on all the time. It doesn't bug me. HUD. If you do remember, I used to use a 48 HUD size, but Fortnite decided to let me just stop the music right there. Okay. Fortnite did decide to nerf your crosshair. If you don't have a big HUD, like, your crosshair will be tiny now. I did think they were going to do that, because, like, if you had this on 46, your HUD when you're editing is really small and your ping is really small. So, yeah, gyro settings, turn them off. They make you use aim assist. Keyboard settings. Okay, now this is a controversy thing. I am going to say this out loud. Changing your keyboard settings will change your controller sensitivity. So, just recommending it to you there. I use it 8.5, 8.5, 21, 21. That gives me really stiff and really good aim assist, in my opinion. So, if you really want good aim assist, do use this. But it is a disadvantage of having a slight more input delay. But personally, I don't care about having more input delay to give me more aim assist, because my building and editing is good anyway, and I can sacrifice that for good aim. So, I do tell you that now. This does affect your aim. It is either, I don't know if it's a placebo thing, but it really does affect your aim, for me anyway. Let me turn my aircon on. It does affect your aim, because if you put it on 100, turn around, start building, you're gonna notice a big difference. It's mostly the targeting and scope sensitivity. The X and Y isn't really a thing. It's mostly these two. If you have these on 1, you're gonna notice a difference than if you have them on 100. But I have them on 21. Controller settings. Okay, here we go. This is probably everyone's probably been waiting for. I have a controller auto run off, because it fucks with my sprinting. Edit hold time. That's not meant to be on that. No. Yeah. Sorry. Edit hold time. Yes, I recommend having it on 0.100 milliseconds. If you are using double keybinds, this isn't really needed for you. You could put it on 250 if you really wanted to. This is mostly for people that have a single edit bind. I have 2, so build immediately. You need that on. Don't know why it's not on for me. Need that on. Edit slide whole time. It's up to you what you want. You need it. Probably I would say recommending it to anything between 100 to 10 milliseconds. But if you do have it on 10 milliseconds, you're gonna probably be sliding if you are trying to crouch on controller. If it doesn't mean a difference for you, then leave it alone. Pitch, this is for replays. So leave it alone. Vibration off. I used to play with vibration on. Crazy enough, yes, I did used to play with vibrations on, like just before I switched to PC. But I turned it off immediately. I turned it off because it will mess up your aim. You're shooting and you'll get controllers rumbling, which is really bad. Look sensitivity and aim sensitivity, yes, this actually does affect your normal sense. So I would recommend, if you are gonna do this, a good base start is probably 3 or 4. If you really want your stuff to be smooth. But if you really want to go all out, put it on 1. Because if you trust me, if you put this on 1, then free build, put it on 10, then free build, it's really different. I use 7 because it's just what I want to use. 1.6 build and edit, as you know, I've always used 1.6 build and edit. Anything higher for me is just too quick, personally. Anything lower is just too slow. I did used to use 1.8, but before I did switch back to I used to use 1.8 build and edit because I did change my sense before this, but I switched it back, knowing me. Advanced options on. Okay, here's where we get into the good part. I use 46. 46 looks look vertical and look horizontal. I did used to use 52 and 62, which was mad fast. Now thinking back, I switched to this sense like as soon as chapter 3 came out, because if you did remember, I did used to use a baseline of 47 and 52, but yeah. All the boosts are off. Instant boost and building is on, but you can turn it off because it doesn't really mean anything. It's mostly for this, that's it. So ADS, I have it on 18% because that just makes me have mad good like long range aim, like hitting double dinks all the time. ADS boost ramp time, I recommend this off if you really if you want raw stick input. Okay, here's where everyone's probably going to be confused, is I still use look dampening time. Yes, look dampening time, I've tried to get used to it with it off. It's just, in my opinion, it's just hard. My sensitivity 46, 26. If I was going to turn this off, I would have to go to like 43 or like 42 because I just prefer it. Obviously, exponential. We're playing with Expo now for like 2 years. It's just the best. Dead zones 10-10. I do not recommend. I know people say put it to 5, put it to the lowest possible. No, do not do that. Do not put your dead zones to the lowest possible. Put your dead zones on 5-5, free build, and if it's too fast, up the dead zones by 1. You need to like, pretty much, you don't want your dead zones being too stiff or too responsive, because you won't be able to hit a shot. You will not be able to hit a shot. I recommend anything between 7 to about 12. That's really good for Expo anyway. I wouldn't recommend going 15. I used to play high dead zones on like 15, 14, even up to 17. But no, and foot controller on, because foot controller makes your gameplay smooth. People might say it doesn't, it does. Put it on 1. Put the percentage on 1. It makes your shit really smooth. Sound settings. I ain't gonna go through sound settings because, yeah, I would recommend playing sound quality on high because, yeah, it doesn't cut out when it in endgame. This is all personal preference. I would recommend voice chat anything between 5 and 10 because people have loud mics. 3D headphones off, turn that off. Background audio, turn it off. That's pretty much when someone invites you, it's gonna pop up with the sound. Subtitles, I use them on. I've never touched subtitles. Turning them off. If you do turn them off, they do actually give you less input delay. But yeah, visual sound effects, need to turn these on. If you don't play with visual sound effects already in Chapter 3 Season 3, you are doing something wrong. These got visual sound effects got buffed last season, and they are really good. Wasn't it last season or was it ages ago? I don't know, but I've had them on for ages. I used to even play visual sound effects back on console, like when they weren't buffed, and trust me, it was horrible. I would recommend, even if you're on console, turn these on immediately. Keybinds, I'm not gonna go through. I don't play keyboard, but if you want to copy them, you can. I don't play keyboard, so the controller binds. My combat binds. I play double claw. I do play double claw, but I prefer to play single right-sided claw because I am like that. Yes, I have touchpad for edit. I've used touchpad for edit for over a year now. I switched to it probably like chapter 2 season 5, and people do think I have used these keybinds for forever. I haven't actually. I did used to use edit when I first switched to claw, like over a couple of years ago. I did switch edit here, and I had toggle pickaxe on touchpad. No, I had toggle pickaxe here, then I moved it to touchpad because I was weird. People are gonna say which is the best controller platform to play on. My opinion is personal preference. I do recommend Xbox or PlayStation. Generic does give you the least input delay, but I do sometimes play generic, as you've probably noticed on stream. I do sometimes switch to generic. I've never touched Xbox because, in my opinion, it's so weird and it just doesn't feel good. I do play PlayStation 4 though because it just gives you the best aim assist, in my opinion. Build controls is just the same. I would recommend turning off everything that you don't need, such as like squad comms and stuff. That's obviously used for edit. If you're using edit controls, I would recommend either R1 or L1 for reset, and then L2 or R2 for confirm if you are not playing claw. And I would recommend L3 for reset, for edit. Obviously, if you do play claw, it's up to you. You can use anything you want. Paddles, you can use anything you want. But yes, I do use R3 to reset, so it means I can't crouch when I'm building and editing. But I rather take that sacrifice. Ability controls, that doesn't matter. This is old stuff. And then the old dead zones, which I do recommend if you are going to switch your dead zones, use this setting. And then account privacy, that's just the same. But yeah, that's my settings. Don't save because I think I might have changed something. But yeah, that's my settings. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out. Peace.